Yo guys, what's up? Today I want to try to take on the question of how lean angles are possible on motorcycles because it's the funnest part of riding a bike. So I've tackled this. It's taken me quite a while to figure this all out, but I think I got a decent picture of how this all functions, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I guess it'll start without further ado. All right. In a corner, how can you lean the bike over without falling over? You can thank centripetal force. Centripetal force is acting on the bike in an outward direction. But what does this all mean? This means that there is a center relative to your position when leaned over. That center is called the apex. Since the force is still going outward and you obviously are not crashing from the force, what's causing you not to crash? The force is getting transferred downward. But how does this happen? Your suspension is compressing and sending this outward force downward towards your tires. This is why suspension and tires are vital for riding. Imagine for a second that your tires aren't grippy enough. They would not be able to counteract that outward and downward force. This would result in a crash where you slide outward. Imagine that your suspension was too soft or too hard. If it was too soft, then it would not be able to counteract the outward force, compress, and the springs would go down all the way till they bottom out. But if it was too stiff, then the springs would not be able to compress at all and not transfer that force downward towards your tires. Is this still kind of confusing? Because I think it is. So here's a demonstration that I found online with centripetal forces. Imagine the ball is attached to a string and you're spinning it. Now imagine the point where you're spinning it is the apex, and this is the exact corner where that photo was taken. This gives you somewhat of an idea. This doesn't mean that every apex is circular like this, but this is just a good way to demonstrate the idea. In reality, it's probably like 25% of a circle, if that. Okay, let's take it on the opposite side. Imagine if the bike was upright at this point during the corner. Since the force is still going outward and we are not counteracting the force by leaning opposite of the direction of the outward force, the bike would pivot off the tires, causing it to fly over and outward in the opposite direction. So this is the balance. The faster you go through a corner, the more centripetal force there is, and therefore you need the more lean angle to counteract this force. But if for any reason your tires lose grip, you will feel the centripetal force by means of a low side crash.
Points to the center of the circle. The ball has a tangential velocity, so if you suddenly cut the string, it would fly off.
That's what would happen if your tires lose grip. It's like cutting the string of that ball. Here's an example from MotoGP. Notice the direction he flies. He's going outward. He doesn't go inward. Loses grip. Centripetal force takes him, and he starts flying outward. And you'll notice this for a lot of low side crashes in motorcycle racing. He flies outward, opposite the direction that they are leaning. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was helpful, somewhat interesting. I've always had a fascination with how people are able to carry so much lean angle, and I think that this is although not very scientific way of explaining it, because I'm pretty sure physicists will tell me that I'm wrong on a few levels, but I think that generally centripetal force is the reason why we can lean the bike over without crashing. That in combination with tire technology of today and suspension of today, I think that riding right now is a really good point to be a motorcycle rider, because you can get all these parts for relatively cheap and they're all relatively good. Alright, I guess I will see you guys in the next one. Again, if you have any suggestions for videos, let me know, because I want to start making more content like this, where I script it out, do a lot of this animation kind of stuff, but I'm not really sure what else I can do. So let me know down in the comments which videos you would like to see, and maybe I could produce something in the future. And if you haven't checked out my other body position videos, my shoulder breaking videos, my grip feel videos, go ahead and check those out. They should be in the suggestion to your right. Alright, have a good day.